Hey there, YouTube. Welcome back to my channel. Mikey speaking. I wanted to go over today, like I promised last week, my current allocation for all my TSP funds. Like, what money do I have in which fund is what I'm trying to say. Sorry if that sounded confusing. Not sure if that was the right verbiage, but I digress. I wanted to go over where my money is in my TSP, and I wanted to show you my loan that I actually used against my TSP, the interest rate, and in another video, I'm actually going to show you the duplex I purchased with that. But for right now, just keep in mind, I did use that money to buy a duplex that is bringing in a decent amount of money currently. It could be bringing in more, but due to due to the whole coronavirus thing, I do have a tenant not paying the full amount, which I am fine with. I understand these are hard times. We have to help each other out. Anyways, let's go over to TSP and give you a brief overview. Now, keep in mind that I do have two different TSPs because I was a civilian for about 5 years, which I still currently am, but I am on orders, so I am not currently putting into my civilian TSP. I've been military for about 10 years, but didn't contribute as much as I should have, which was my mistake. Lesson learned, older, wiser, I'm making more contributions now. The system's a little bit weird on my contributions, so I'm trying to get to 20% of my total check every month. It's not allowing me, but I'll figure that out later. Just so you know, my overall goal is 20% of my check for my military check to go right into TSP. For my civilian one, provided if when I do go back civilian, I put in 10%. So if you look over here, the way I had it prior is C fund, or currently technically, because I haven't changed it yet, is C fund I actually do 40%, the S fund 40%, and the I fund 20%. Now this was changed prior. As you look here, I did have some money, or do have some money in my G fund as well, because originally everything was going to my G fund until I learned there's a better way to put money in. So when I think I had a bit more money in here and I moved it over when stock started to go really down. Anyways, so where I'm actually going to change things from here going forward is I'm actually going to change 60% to the C fund. After showing you the last video of all the different funds, I liked the overall progression of the C fund, so I want to contribute more. So I'm actually going to do 60% in the C fund and I'm going to do 10% in the rest. The reason I want to do some money in the G fund is you can make interchanging or inter-fund transfers. So example, if I have money in my G fund, I can move it over to the C fund or the S fund or the I fund. So I want to have some money in my G fund. If everything starts to spike down, I can just, one, I'll increase my contributions immediately. And then two, I'll move anything from my G fund into any of these funds that have been going down. Again, that's in a crisis, a pandemic like we currently are in. So that's where my TSP currently is and where my TSP is going. Now, in the last video, I believe I told you a higher percentage than what my TSP loan actually was. So it's pretty amazing. When I got this loan, well, it says current rates are currently at 0.075. Let's pull up what I had. So if you look, I took out an $11,000 loan. I still have $7,000 I owed. I put it to pay back for 5 years. I should have put it for 1 year. I'm learning as I go along and I make these mistakes, but hopefully you're in a position where you can do 1 year, and I recommend that in my opinion. So I pay it back every 2 weeks. And look, when you get the loan, it sits here and tells you exactly. So every payment is going to be $90 basically if you round up. So this is basically what it'll look like when you actually get your loan, and it gives you the interest rate. So at that time, I was at 2.125. Now you're at less than 1%. Even a 2.125 is a great interest rate to sit here and borrow money against your TSP. Keep in mind that the money that you borrow in your TSP stays there, so it's still growing, and you're just paying it back every paycheck. So every 2 weeks, you're paying back a certain amount. Again, I recommend, if you're financially available to, pay it back in a year, because once you pay that loan back off, you can take off a loan again next year. So ideally, every year you can use your TSP to invest your next house in theory. So here you see my military account. As you see here, there is a lot less money in here because I was starting to get money wise when I joined the civilian sector. That's when I started actually realizing I can contribute. And they match you on your contribution 4.5%, which help it grow twice as fast. I am learning now that investing is a smart way to get financially ahead. Wish I knew that back then when I first joined the military, but I am doing it now, which I still have over 10 years to serve. So I got plenty of time to grow this. Currently, I'm sitting at about 16,000. The C fund sitting at 70%. F, S, and I are at 10%. I'm going to leave my military account just like this. I'm not worried about where it's sitting. I'm going to let it grow, and I'm going to up my contributions. Ideally, I would like to put in roughly $1,000 a month is where I would like to be. And that's where I'm hoping to get my finances to, that I can contribute $1,000 a month. Anyways, that's a quick overview of my TSP, where I have my contributions, where I'm changing my contributions in my civilian account. You saw where I changed in my military account and what it currently is, and the current interest rates for TSP loans. Again, TSP loans is a great way to sit here and buy your first house if you don't have a house and you don't have money put away. You sit here, you borrow against your TSP, and bam, now you have funds to sit here and put on your down payment. The key to take away from all of this is just start investing. Start investing now. Don't put it off for later. Invest as much as you can, even if it's $100 a month. Start. Hope this helps out. Let me know if you have any questions. Till next time, have a good one.